What is going on, my peoples? Welcome back to the channel, and today I am super excited because Hot Toys has decided to put out a big and emphasis on big pun shamelessly intended announcement. It was put out on Saturday. Sideshow has been, I don't know if they were off. I don't know what was going on with Sideshow, but they just put out the prices up now. So this is when I'm gonna be able to outlaw my videos, so I can give you guys the full picture of what's going on with these figures and the prices. But I say big not just because he can turn big, but because they do a dual release. And as all of you know by now, I'm sure, they release Ant-Man and they also release Wasp for their respective movie Ant-Man and the Wasp. And I am super excited because these two figures look incredible. And Wasp is one of my most anticipated figures. I have wanted this figure for a long time, but she's gonna have her chance. We're here to talk about Ant-Man, and we see him in all his glory right in front of us. By the way, my buddy Rick commented and he predicted that they were gonna be releasing Ant-Man this weekend, and I was like, I don't think so, because they had released, you know, the Iron Man, they had released the Deathstroke and all that, and I was like, they've done way too many releases. I don't think they're gonna be able to. It was due because, you know, movies coming on in less than a week now. But I don't think so. But hey, cheers. He's here for that to happen. And it did happen. 24 hours later, we had the announcement. And I was, holy shit, he was right. So here we are. Shout out to you, Rick. You were absolutely right. So, moving on to the figure. This guy, he looks fantastic. The first Ant-Man suit that we got, it was very traditional. We all know where that suit came from. It was back in whatever, the 60s, I believe it was, when Ant-Man was doing his thing, hand paint, and he still had the same suit. That's the suit that Scott Lang get to use. But now, for Civil War, he had a second suit that he was, I don't know who created that. Probably hand paint. Nobody else can do that. So it was probably him. So he got a little bit of an update. So now for his own movie, I didn't like that suit, by the way. I don't think many people did. So I kept to the original one. I picked up pretty much everybody from the Civil War line except for Ant-Man and Cap. So yeah, but this suit, it looks incredible. It looks really cool, and I am digging it big time. One of the things that I do not like about this suit, on the other suit, on the Civil War suit, you can see the eyes of Scott behind the helmet, and over here you cannot. This helmet has a light up feature, so I don't know if they removed the eyes so they can get a brighter LED inside there. LEDs are not a feature that a lot of people are using, and I love LEDs, but I would personally better see the eyes of Scott Lang behind the helmet, behind the glasses of the helmet. But they have not done that over here just yet. This is just a prototype. Who knows when the figure releases, because they did it for the previous one, and yet the other one, it had the entire face behind the helmet. So hopefully they get to do that, and you could get both. Like, even though the LEDs are not gonna be as bright, because we know if you can see the eyes, the LEDs are not as bright, but it doesn't matter. I would rather see the eyes, and I think a lot of you would like to see the same thing. So this helmet, it looks very close to the Civil War helmet. It looks like a modernized version of the original suit, but this is more like streamlined. I like how over here on the jaws, this is more streamlined, and it's not as big as the one that he wore on Civil War. I didn't like that helmet that much. It looks so close to it, but this is a tad better, and that tad better made it a lot better, at least for me. I really enjoy this helmet a lot better because this the jawline here is not protruding as much. So yeah, pretty cool to see that. I have to call out Hot Toys here and tell them what amazing job they've been doing on every figure that they're putting out. They're taking great pictures. They all done that so, and they keep doing it still. Whoever took this picture, props to you, man or lady, because this picture, the figure hasn't changed size, but he looks like he's lighting down a table here or a chair or something like that, and you can actually picture him small. At the same time, on this picture, it's taken from the bottom towards up, and you can see the backgrounds, the buildings and all that. He looks like he is big, and great pictures all around. At the same time, on these pictures, you can see a little bit of the articulation, which it looks like it has been improved tremendously this time around, because the original Ant-Man, the articulation was garbage. I've been reposting almost my entire collection because I want to do a collection video soon enough. So I've been reposting here and there the figures that I think that should be reposed, what I'm trying to reimagine, what I can do. And I was trying to repose Ant-Man. I could barely move him. He's just difficult, really difficult to move around, and I changed his pose just a little bit. Like, you wouldn't even notice that I repose him because he's that much difficult to pose him around. But this time you can see you can get some poses out of him, and that is really cool to see, because I do not like my Emma to be on a museum pose all the time. I want to be able to pose him around. Nothing too complicated. This pose for me, it will be perfectly fine. This is what I want. Ant-Man, there's not much you can do with him. He doesn't have that many accessories. He doesn't have that, you know, like other people that you can do. But this is fine for me. He's just running around. That's just perfectly fine. I really like that. Among the accessories, you can find the two discs, the one that trimmed stuff and the other one that makes things grow larger. You also have an alternated head sculpt that they're not showing us yet, because as you can see here, this is like the infamous Batfleck, or Ben Affleck, I should say, head sculpt that everybody says that this is just a placeholder right now, for what I can tell. That's when they're not ready to show it to us yet. Hopefully, by the time the Comic-Con comes along, they're gonna have it ready for us, so we can see the newly designed health code that they have for us. Since people didn't like that one for whatever reason, because people said that he looked like Affleck, and he did, but at the same time, I said it before, he also looked like Scott Lang a lot more. Like Paul Rudd, I should say. So, anyway, and he also had, when you remove the helmet, you have this collapsed helmet towards the back that you can replace, and you can create that effect that his helmet is collapsed to his little backpack that he has going on there. So that is really neat. I really like that. Another great picture showing one of the really small accessories that he comes with. You can see this picture. You can take this picture both ways. You can see that he's small and he's growing, or he was tall and he's just shrinking into that. And over here you can see the little Ant-Man, and there's not much detail because he's just so tiny. Imagine trying to get all those colors and then moving out of the line. But it's really neat. They always include one of these. Just you can put it in a corner somewhere and you can have a really tiny Ant-Man. Pretty nice. And this is why I personally am gonna get both. Look how cool these two look together. I mean, I have the original Ant-Man. Let's just say I skip Ant-Man and I just get the Wasp, which is, I'm gonna get the Wasp definitely. But let's just say I skip it. It's not gonna fit, because this, to me, because the retro look with the modernized look for Wasp, it just doesn't fit. These two go 2 and 2 together. This movie is called Ant-Man and the Wasp. Hot Toys is giving us Ant-Man and a Wasp. From this movie, as much as it hurts inside, I'm gonna get rid of that Ant-Man. I'm gonna get this one. I love the helmet for that Ant-Man. I love the fact that you can just move out the jaws and the visor, and you can see Paul Rudd's head inside of it, and that is really neat. I really like that, even better than having a completely exposed head. But that is just me. But this suit, come on, this suit looks really, really good. It's more streamlined, doesn't have all the tubings that the other one had, and the Civil War had it even more tubing, would make it even worse for me. So this is a beautiful suit. It goes really nice along with Wasp. This, I don't know, I don't want to say anything because I said this before and I keep doing the opposite. But this could be the last Ant-Man that I will ever buy because he just looks incredible. It goes completely with Wasp, and they look so cool. Look at that, just Wasp flying around, Ant-Man running on the ground. This is an incredible combo, and I wish the Hot Toys had put it out like a together, you know, like a one pack that has both in them. But they had that this time around because, you know, they difficult to sell when they do it with Han and Chewie and other figures that are bundled together. Sometimes it gets difficult to sell because they have to be so expensive, and people are not about to pay $500 or more for a 2-pack. It's just one go. They would rather get, let's say I already have one Ant-Man, so I'm gonna get only Wasp, or I only care about Wasp. And you know, you could always do like, you know, 3, but you will have to do more and more packaging and more stuff. So I see what they're doing. They're just avoiding it. I don't really care. It would have been nice to get both at the same time with an extra little something in there for those who went the extra mile and got the dual set. But anyways, it doesn't matter. I have the figures. I am happy with that. So yeah, this is everything included on the box. You get Ant-Man himself, you got the little Ant-Man, you got the face they're not revealing us yet, you have the replacement for the neck piece, for the retractable helmet. And I'm just gonna pat myself on the back here, guys, because I don't know if you watched my Ant-Man video, but I called it and I said that we're gonna be getting the building turned into a suitcase, and here it is. It's blurred out, but everybody knows what it is, and they even said it on the description. It's the miniature lab. Really, really nice accessory. That is so cool that they decided to do that. I am so happy because that would be a really, really neat accessory, and we're gonna have that. So really happy about that. They have included the shrinking one and the growing disc. They have a few hands, not that many this time around, and they have included backgrounds. You can see them, and there's growing large here or shrinking. This always goes both ways. That's the way they do it. And you can see the newly designed base, which really, really nice, and it goes really well with the Wasp, you know, with the honeycomb that they're going for, both of them. Really, really cool. I like the I don't like those bases that much, but I don't own any ones. I don't own any of those bases now, but I prefer the other ones. But maybe when I get to propose my figures around, I can get my feet where I want them to be, and maybe I can. But I really like the design on this one and on the Wasp because hers is yellow and his is red, and they really, really pop out. And I'm all about color on my collection. So yeah, really cool stuff. Now we're gonna move on to the price, which is what it has been holding us back all this time. And this Ant-Man is going for $243. What can we say about that? Well, let's do the little usual history tour. So the original Ant-Man went for $235, and the Civil War Ant-Man went for $235, the exact same price, even though they were years apart. Now this one is going for $43, so $35, $8 difference. I think the original Ant-Man, especially the original one, was just a tad overpriced for the time that he came out. You know, just $5 maybe or something like that. So that makes the increment in price and this one just a tad overpriced. But considering the prices that we have now, and considering that he's coming with 2 head sculpts, I don't think this price is bad at all. And I said that Deathstroke is a little bit overpriced, and I only said it because he is just from a video game, and you don't have to pay a real celebrity. Like, they have to pay Paul Rudd to create these head sculpt. So in those eyes, to me, Deathstroke was just a little bit a little bit overpriced, right? And this guy, I think for the price that we're getting now, for everything is just like super expensive. I think this is a fair price, and even if it wasn't, I will still be getting this Ant-Man and this Wasp because they look absolutely amazing, and I really like these figures. So yeah, guys, those are my thoughts on Ant-Man. I'm gonna be shooting the video for Wasp right after this. So stay tuned and try not to be a stranger on the channel. Be around.